We are pleased to announce that today's ceremony is being broadcast to family, friends, and alumni around the world via live streaming through our SUA website. We will now begin our program. Please stand for the 2024 Commencement Processional and remain standing through the national anthem. To all of our guests and those in attendance, welcome to the 2024 commencement of Soka University of America. Please remain standing as the members of the student chorus sing the national anthem.
Thank you so much to the members of Student Chorus for opening 2024 commencement ceremony. My name is Hyun Moon, and I'm the Dean of Students here at SUA. I'm honored to be the MC for today's ceremony. Throughout the academic journey, these graduates have demonstrated dedication, perseverance, and commitment to excellence. Today, we mark the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. To commence their new chapter, please welcome the President of Soka University of America, President Ed Fiesel.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Soka University of America's commencement ceremony for the undergraduate and graduate class of 2024. It gives me great pleasure to welcome the family and friends of our graduates. I know many of you have come from long distances to join us today. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for traveling. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge our Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and supporters. Thank you for being here, for your contributions to the university, and for your support of our students who are graduating today. I want to take a moment to acknowledge one of our professors who is retiring from SUA after 22 years of service. Professor of Biology and Environmental Studies, Anthony Mazerel. Anthony, thank you for your many years of service to SUA and our students. Dear graduating students, I'm so proud and honored to congratulate you on your graduation from SUA today. You have traversed the difficult path of the last several years as a student at SUA and have emerged victorious on this stage of your commencement ceremony today. Congratulations. To the undergraduate students, it seems like yesterday when we first met by Zoom, as we were in the midst of the COVID pandemic, and I had just become SUA's second president. Even though it was such a difficult time, hearing each of your bright voices and dreams was immensely inspiring. I sincerely thank you all for everything that you have contributed to SUA while pursuing your rigorous studies here. I look forward with great expectations and hope to the brilliant futures you will create. And to the graduate students, I have learned so much from your diligent and serious pursuit of knowledge and your sincere efforts to increase your understanding of the true mission of education. I look forward to your futures as Soka educators across the world, opening new paths in humanistic education. This last November, our university founder, Daisaku Ikeda, passed away at the age of 95. I believe it is no coincidence that you all were here as students at SUA during this critical time. As a community, we all reaffirmed our commitment to carry on the work Mr. Ikeda has advanced thus far. And now you will all embark on your next challenge to become champions of peace in your communities based on our mission to become global citizens. I know nothing would make Mr. Ikeda happier than today's celebration of your new departure. I wanted to share a few quotes from the messages Mr. Ikeda sent to the undergraduate and graduate students when they entered SUA. To the undergraduate class of 2024, he shared, quote, "A youthful life resolved to continue learning, come what may, can never be defeated. Nelson Mandela and I envisioned young global citizens uniting to uphold equality and human dignity for all. Madiba stated that one of the most difficult things in life is changing yourself," unquote. And to the graduate students, Mr. Ikeda shared, quote, "Each and every person has deep within a wellspring from which boundless hope, courage, and wisdom may be drawn. And when summoned forth and manifest, we not only can realize our own happiness as individuals without fail, but also achieve peace and prosperity for society itself." Dr. Wangari Maathai affirmed, "Hope is like a flower, which when it blooms, does so no matter what mood it's in or who is watching. It always gives its best," unquote. To the graduating students, I hope you will all continue to return to these words in the future as you climb the mountains of your dreams. As you know, SUA celebrated its 23rd anniversary on May 3rd. I'm sure you can appreciate the numerous individuals who have been instrumental in SUA's progress and success over the years. At this time, it is my pleasure to confer Soka University of America's most prestigious distinction, the highest award of honor, on 3 individuals who have contributed immensely to the university through their dedicated service as long-serving members of the Board of Trustees. First, it is a great honor to bestow this award to this year's commencement speaker, Mr. Steve Dunham, who began work for SUA in 1994 and has the remarkable distinction of serving over 21 years on the board, holding the position as founding chair during his entire tenure. As a respected general counsel in higher education, his profound wisdom and guidance have profoundly shaped SUA's path over the past 2 decades. Mr. Dunham has led the trustees with an inclusive approach to governance, with a sincere commitment to considering the needs of the entire university community. Mr. Dunham and his wife, Vicky, who is here today, had the honor of meeting with the late founder, Mr. Ikeda, and his wife in 2004, where they had an engaging discussion about the origins of Soka education and American philosophy. SUA has deep appreciation and gratitude for Mr. Dunham's service over the last 30 years. Mr. Dunham, will you please join me at the podium to receive your award? Soka University of America highest award of honor, Stephen Dunham. In honor of your outstanding dedication to Soka University of America and for your personal commitment to the humanistic ideals upon which it was founded, The university hereby recognizes your contribution to the youth of the future and their development as global citizens of the 21st century. On this 24th day of May 2024, Minoru Harada, President of the Soka Gakkai, and Edward M. Fiesel, President of SUA. Thank you. Our next two recipients are retiring from our board, and yesterday was their last board meeting. The first is Chris Knudsen. Mr. Knudsen's support is the epitome of working behind the scenes, as he started his work with our university in 1989 as a corporate lawyer in the planning stages of SUA's opening. Since then, he dedicated 20 years of service as a board member when he transitioned from legal counsel to a trustees member in 2004. His leadership as chair of the investment and audit committees to guide the university with fiscal responsibility and due diligence has been truly admirable. Mr. Knudsen's genuine care and dedication for the well-being of our university community can be seen in his decades of service well into his own retirement. We thank him for all his support of our SUA students. Mr. Knudsen, please come forward to receive your award. Our next recipient is Dr. Larry Hickman. Dr. Hickman is Professor Emeritus of Philosophy at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, and former director of the Center for Dewey Studies and past president of the John Dewey Society. Dr. Hickman provided invaluable guidance on the board joining in 2008, especially for his contributions on the Student Affairs Committee and as chair of the Educational Personnel and Policy Committee. Our university founder, Mr. Ikeda, often spoke of the great American philosopher, author, and educational reformer, John Dewey. And this led to Dr. Hickman's mutual respect and friendship with Mr. Ikeda, where they co-authored a dialogue entitled Living as Learning, John Dewey in the 21st Century. Dr. Hickman is retiring from our board this year after 16 years of service. Thank you very much for your outstanding service to SUA. Dr. Hickman, please come forward to receive your award. Thank you all, and once again, congratulations to the graduating students of the class of 2024. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, President Fiesel, for your words, and congratulations once again to the recipients of SUA's highest award of honor. And now I'm truly honored to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Steve Dunham. As introduced by President Fiesel, Mr. Dunham is the chair of the Board of Trustees of Soka University of America. He's also the Vice President and General Counsel Emeritus of the Pennsylvania State University. Prior to Penn State, he served as Vice President and General Counsel of Johns Hopkins University and the University of Minnesota. He also served as a litigation and higher education law partner and chair of the international law firm of Morrison and Foerster. In addition to his legal posts, Mr. Dunham has taught at several universities, including law schools at the University of California, Davis, the University of Minnesota, the University of Denver, and Penn State. He has also spoken and written widely on a range of legal topics related to higher education, including ethics, fiduciary duty and governance, compliance, academic freedom, and the First Amendment. In addition to SUA, Mr. Dunham has served on the boards of several organizations, including Mills College. He graduated from Princeton University and the Yale Law School. On behalf of Soka University of America, a warm welcome to Mr. Steve Dunham.
Good afternoon. I asked if I could take my hat off, and was shown a picture of President Biden speaking at Morehouse. He didn't have his hat on, so I think it's okay. For myself and the entire Board of Trustees, we offer our congratulations to the great class of 2024. This is a time of happiness and achievement. We are here to celebrate each of you individually. I would also like to congratulate the families and friends who encouraged the graduates to dream big and aim high and supported them in all of your efforts. And I commend the faculty and staff for everything you have done for the students in the university. And finally, thanks to President Fiesel for giving me the opportunity and privilege to speak to you all today. The subject of my talk is drawn from today's headlines. First, how do principles of freedom of speech apply to the current and ongoing conflicts and disruptions on college campuses in the United States and indeed around the world? By free speech, I mean constitutional and policy-based principles that protect the free expression of information and ideas from interference by the government. And in this sense, the government includes public universities and private institutions that are committed to freedom of expression. Second, how can constructive dialogue, when combined with free speech, help resolve conflicts? To state my conclusion at the outset, I believe that freedom of speech, the right of individuals to express their individual viewpoints, no matter how unpopular, is necessary for constructive dialogue. And constructive dialogue is in turn necessary for the peaceful resolution of the conflicts we face. This topic is at the very least timely. The current free speech issues on college campuses arise most prominently in the context of the demonstrations over the war between Israel and Hamas following the October 7 invasion. They involve issues of war, peace, discrimination, a humanitarian crisis, statehood affecting both Jewish and Palestinian people. These issues are part of the cancellation and disruptions of multiple graduation ceremonies. They are part of the forced resignation of prominent university presidents. They are raised by the arrests and suspensions of hundreds of protesters on campuses across the country, including students, faculty, and others, and the removing of tent cities. Similarly, but separately, over the past several years on many college campuses, there have been protests relating to the issues of race, police brutality, and discrimination that also raise important questions of freedom of speech. The underlying global conflicts that give rise to the campus protests are, of course, of immense importance and interest. And it is my hope and belief that the issues I will talk about today may be helpful in thinking about it, and one can hope helping to resolve these global conflicts. But for purposes of my talk today, I seek to focus more on how principles of free speech and dialogue apply to helping resolve the specific conflicts on college campuses. I'll begin with a brief background of how I became involved in these issues and a short overview of my involvement with SUA, because my story will underscore, I think, how SUA's unique mission relates to free speech, dialogue, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts. I went to college and law school in the 1960s. I know, ancient history. during a time of social and political unrest on college campuses. As with today, there were two overriding conflicts that triggered the unrest: Vietnam and civil rights. Student protests pushed the issues of free speech on campus up to and including civil disobedience and violations of university policies. My very conservative constitutional law professor at Yale Law School told us that the far left and the far right should agree on the First Amendment because they have the same interest in protecting controversial speech from governmental and university overreach. The same may be true today. In the decades since the 1960s, I have been involved representing colleges and universities on a range of issues, both as inside counsel and as outside counsel. Those issues certainly include First Amendment issues and how to respond to student disruptions and disturbances. In the 1980s, the students at a university I worked at, and many others, argued that because of apartheid, the university should divest and sell their stocks in companies that did business in South Africa. This is directly analogous to the demands today by students on many campuses that university endowments should divest from investments linked to Israel and military activities more broadly. As is true today, the students protested, disrupted board meetings, took over president's offices. Those activities all raised important free speech issues under the First Amendment. More recently, Richard Spencer, who had reportedly helped organize the White Nationalist March in Charlottesville at the University of Virginia in 2017, asked to speak at several universities shortly after the march, at which people were killed. When he did speak, there were protests and counter-protests. When certain public universities denied his request to speak, including at the one I worked at, he sued based on the First Amendment. Moving to my involvement with SUA and its mission, beginning in the early 1990s, I was asked by SUA to advise on a series of legal issues related to its founding. An early assignment was to help obtain approval from the state of California and the regional accrediting bodies so that SUA could offer degrees and your predecessors could graduate from an approved and accredited university. To do that, we needed first and foremost to define and describe SUA's mission. SUA's founder, Daisaku Ikeda, had set forth a mission for SUA in his writings and speeches, really in his entire life's work, that included leading a contributive life, global citizenship, peace, and dialogue. SUA's unique mission, and more broadly, its mission as an institution of higher education, which encourages diversity of viewpoint and open discussion of conflicting positions, are supportive of the principles and purposes of free speech and dialogue and have direct relevance to the global conflicts we face today. So why does free speech matter, and why should we protect it? First, free speech is a way to find the truth. Probably the most famous statement of this idea comes from the English writer John Milton in a 1644 pamphlet where he objected to laws that he said discouraged, quote, learning. As stated by Milton, quote, though all the winds of doctrine were let loose to play upon the earth, so that truth be in the field, we do injuriously by licensing and prohibiting, misdoubt her strength. Let her and falsehood grapple. Whoever knew truth, put to the worst in a free and open encounter. In other words, using Milton's analogy, truth would beat falsehood in a fair fight. But why does truth matter? That's really a larger philosophical question, but for now I would simply say that truth matters because it is necessary for the exercise of wisdom. It protects us from false charges, from bad science, and from arbitrary decisions. It promotes health, safety, and human prosperity, which suffer from false information. And also, relevant specifically to SUA, the educator Makaguchi stated that truth is necessary to create value, which is the basis both of Soka education and indeed the word Soka itself. So truth matters, but why does truth win in a fight against falsehood, as stated by Milton? Drawing from First Amendment law, as stated by Justices Holmes and Brandeis in a famous US Supreme Court opinion in 1919, quote, "The best test of truth is the power of the thought to get itself accepted in the competition of the market, or what has come to be referred to as the marketplace of ideas." So the principles of the free market promote and support the truth-seeking purpose of free speech. A second reason why free speech matters is that it encourages the free flow of information and viewpoints on matters of public interest that support democratic self-government, which depends on an informed citizenry in voting for public officials. And finally, free speech protects individual freedom by protecting the rights of individuals to form their own opinions and develop their own identities. Free speech thus protects individuality and diversity of identity and thought. To bring the discussion back to the reality of the college campus conflicts, how do the purposes of free speech help guide us in the handling of protests and demonstrations? Free speech leads to the truth, and only when the truth is discovered and understood can participants act rationally and with wisdom to resolve the conflict. Free speech protects individuality and identity, and only by respecting individuals and their differences can we make progress towards a resolution. Finally, democratic decision-making depends on free speech and is the best hope for a peaceful resolution that is actually supported by the opposing parties to a conflict. That all sounds good, but of course it is not that simple. Free speech is a good thing, but there are competing interests. There are disputes about the truth, including whether there even is such a thing, and whether free speech, in fact, leads to the truth, particularly in an age of social media. Free speech can cause harm, including to students and employees on college campuses. For example, First Amendment law protects what is thought of as hate speech, and hate speech causes real harm to real people. Free speech can lead to lawlessness, even violence. Free speech can interfere with the operations of colleges and universities, including by interfering with learning. Because of these and other countervailing interests, free speech law under the First Amendment in this country has developed exceptions, including that free speech is not protected if it violates reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions that regulate speech but don't prohibit it. It is not protected if it is likely to cause imminent lawlessness, including violence. It is not protected if it constitutes actionable sexual or racial harassment because of the harm to individual victims. And it is not protected if it disrupts campus operations. Each of these exceptions deserves a book, but the point here is that applying free speech principles to the current university conflicts requires colleges to consider legal and policy-based principles that are ambiguous, uncertain, depend on the context, depend on the facts, and are virtually always disputed. In balancing the different interests and considerations, what is the connective tissue between the conflicting viewpoints created and protected by freedom of speech and the actual resolution of the conflict? In other words, how do we bring people together? In my view, that's where dialogue comes into play. What do we mean by dialogue? It is not a legal term, and I offer no generally accepted definition. I am not sure there is one. Many words might describe something similar and offer some of the same benefits. Consider words such as mediation, compromise, engagement, discussion, sharing, negotiation, argument, persuasion, agreement, debate, mutuality, and others. I have selected dialogue for several reasons. First, dialogue is an important theme of SUA founders Daisaku Ikeda's writings and teachings, and dialogue plays an important part of SUA's unique mission. Second, dialogue as a word and intellectual concept is supported by hundreds, indeed thousands of years of classical teaching and learning. Third, there is considerable literature about dialogue as a means of conflict resolution. Several members of SUA's board here today, including Drs. Jason Gula, Lawrence Carter, Andrea Bartoli, and Lawrence Hickman, have written and spoken about the role of dialogue. And finally, and this to me is critical, dialogue suggests a certain degree of respect between individuals with different backgrounds and viewpoints. And some degree of respect is useful, if not necessary, for the peaceful resolution of disputes. But just as pure free speech has conflicting interests and exceptions, so too there are situations where dialogue has limitations or may just not work. How do you talk with someone who has no interest in a peaceful resolution or is just flat out evil? How do you apply principles of dialogue to conflicting views that simply cannot be reconciled? In the parlance of international conflicts, should you negotiate with terrorists? What about a white nationalist? These are extreme examples, and as conclusionary words, they may be proved too much. In most instances, they should not prevent us from making good faith efforts at peaceful resolution. But the practical and ethical limitations on use of dialogue must be at least considered. So back to the issue at hand, in the context of helping to resolve the current conflicts on campus and more broadly in society, what are the core elements of dialogue and how do they intersect with freedom of speech? Dialogue draws on many sources, including religious, philosophical, political, and educational-based writings. To understand its core principles, I begin with a quote from Peter Stearns, editor of a recent book called Peace Building Through Dialogue. Dialogue, Stearns writes, is essential to effective communication because, quote, the need for voice and to listen to and interact with others is a central feature of our age, whether the issue is conflict resolution or learning. The focus on the words voice, listen, and interact are key elements of the concept of dialogue. Daisaku Ikeda emphasizes that in airing different and conflicting opinions, there must be, quote, respect for the other and the humility, an important word, to listen to and learn from different perspectives from one's own. Further, Mr. Ikeda has noted that by engaging people with different backgrounds and viewpoints, we, quote, cultivate our capacities for tolerance and understanding. And as a result, we can, quote, appreciate the pain and suffering of others, control our own anger, and patch up even small differences and misunderstandings. So how do we move from conflicting opinions, protected and promoted by the First Amendment, and listening, respecting differences, humility, and learning from the viewpoints of others, to actually resolving conflicts? That seems to me the heart of the matter. SUA's founder Ikeda speaks to this issue. He states that, quote, mutual understanding and solidarity arise from dialogue can triumph over threats of evil. And then, specifically apropos of our topic today, Mr. Ikeda wrote about universities and education, that they facilitate through dialogue the sharing of different perspectives, leading to the peaceful resolution of disputes. In the founder's words, quote, education based on open dialogue is far more than the mere transfer of information and knowledge. It enables us to rise above the confines of our parochial perspectives and passions. Institutes of higher education, colleges and universities, are charged with the task of encouraging Socratic world citizens and spearheading the search for new principles for the peaceful integration of the world. In free speech terms, Founder Ikeda called on universities to encourage, quote, open, close quote, dialogue, i.e. no restrictions on opposing viewpoints, such as under the First Amendment, that goes beyond, quote, parochial perspectives, i.e. listen to and respect different opinions. In this way, we can develop, quote, new principles and, quote, mutual understanding and solidarity and, quote, the peaceful integration of the world, i.e. the resolution of conflicts. Further on the role of universities, our own Dr. Andrea Bartoli, who's here today, is a trustee and also an advisor to SUA, is an experienced practitioner of dialogue in difficult international conflict resolution settings, has written that, quote, the university setting provides the promise of a transformational setting through dialogue. It is a place where students, faculty, staff, and also families and general public may critically examine their worldviews. Universities can support dialogue and understanding as part of their public service mission. To sum up, I hope I have drawn a helpful connection between free speech, conflict, and dialogue, specifically in the context of the protests that are going on university campuses. That will at least give you something to think about. Recognizing that there are benefits, but also limitations to both free speech and dialogue, my personal belief is that colleges should apply an expansive view of freedom of speech and err on the side of allowing protests and demonstrations to the extent consistent with public safety. And they should engage in dialogue with protesters and others in a good faith attempt to reach a peaceful resolution. I do note that protesters and administrators on many campuses have in fact engaged in what might be called dialogue or negotiations and criticized for it, and some appear to have resolved their campus-specific conflicts, at least for now. I commend them and view that as a positive development. Of course, resolving the underlying global conflicts is much more difficult, but free speech and dialogue can help there as well. On that optimistic note, I would like to end with a request that you consider how you can contribute to the related concepts of free speech, dialogue, and conflict resolution on our campuses and in our communities. 1, have a dialogue with yourself and engage with family and friends and in small groups on the substantive issues and conflicts of the day. 2, consider whether to become involved in educational efforts in support of freedom of speech. I don't think this is just for lawyers. In the United States, free speech is a constitutional principle, which is part of the rule of law and the democratic process. And I believe promoting the principles of freedom of speech supports democratic principles and peaceful resolution of conflicts in whatever country you come from and wherever you live. 3rd, and maybe most importantly, join organizations or attend public meetings or find other opportunities, perhaps on a university campus, where you can hear the viewpoints of people you disagree with and seek lawful opportunities to dialogue with them. Participate in the marketplace of ideas. Exercise your free speech rights. Celebrate diversity of viewpoint. Use dialogue for the peaceful resolution of disputes. I hope I have not spoiled your graduation by handing out a homework assignment. This should be a day of happiness and celebration. And now let's move on to the main event. Thank you for your attention, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dunham, for your profound speech on this significant day. We have a very special tradition at SUA since the first SUA commencement ceremony held in 2005. That is, our underclass students come together to show their love and appreciation for the graduating class by performing a song at the commencement ceremony. To celebrate the graduation of class of 2024, student chorus and orchestra will now perform their student song on the path of peace.
Welcome this endeavor. Southern Calabanas wave a mean and season breeze. As champions of one world, we dare this come together. Shines bring us and sing forever. Our first steps in the present, to the past of this one day, meeting the eyes of others, humanity embraced. All hearts create momentum, our hearts provide the way. Our deck spells the future, showing wisdom within. Forging scholars from the ashes, learning out of liberty, the lions of the global sun, justice and the road of our conviction, echoes through eternity. Hope swells within hearts, the path is like me. Our footsteps in the present, to the past of this one day, meeting the eyes of others, humanity embrace. Our hearts create momentum, our footsteps in the present, to the past of this one day, meeting the eyes of others, humanity embrace. Our hearts create momentum, our hands provide the way. Our footsteps in the present, with the past of this one day, meeting the eyes of others, humanity embrace. Our hearts create momentum, our hands provide the way. Our hearts create momentum, our hearts provide the way.
Thank you very much to our student chorus and orchestra for that wonderful performance. Once again, now we'd like to begin the conferral of degrees.
I would like to ask the Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Tomoko Takahashi, to present the candidates for the graduate degree.
Thank you, Mr. President. To all our esteemed guests, it is my great honor to present the graduate school class of 2024. As the founding dean of the graduate school, it is a great pleasure for me to introduce the master's degree candidates. Will the master's degree candidates please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for the Master of Arts in Educational Leadership and Societal Change. On behalf of the faculty, I recommend that they be admitted to this degree.
With the recommendation of the faculty, the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me as President of Soka University of America, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
As a symbol of your graduation, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Now, as I call your name, please come to the stage to receive your diploma. Anita Chen. Kafui Jubei. Yuki Miyoshi. Daisaku Nakamura. Takumi Sanpei. Emma Sherbine. My heartfelt congratulations to the graduate school class of 2024. Congratulations. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to ask Emma Sherbine to come to the stage to give remarks on behalf of her fellow graduate students.
Wow, thank you all so much. Honorable guests, President Fiesel, Graduate Dean Takahashi, all faculty, academic, and supporting staff, friends, families, and all of you, my fellow graduates, the class of 2024. Congratulations to us all. We did it. What a beautiful moment we are living in together now in this space. To see so many beautiful faces from so many different places is truly a wonderful thing. This moment right now is only possible because we have this unique opportunity to be in a space that is unlike any other, Soka University of America. This celebration, of course, would not have been possible without the generous contributions of our wonderful donors, whose generosity will be remembered and appreciated for a lifetime. I am also personally thankful for the graduate program at this university and for the dedication shown by Dr. Tomoko Takahashi, Dr. Jay Heffron, Dr. Pakwe Zehiro, Dr. Ryan Allen, and of course, my amazing advisor, Dr. Karen Moran-Jackson, and Manami Kazumi, and my incredible classmates, the United Six. And of course, I owe a deep sense of gratitude to my parents. Hi, Mom and Dad. And all of the educators and mentors who have harnessed the power of education to transform my life. Despite being born with a disability that hindered my ability to hear and speak, their support has been instrumental in shaping me into the person I am today, a proud graduate with a master's in educational leadership and societal change, ready to live a meaningful and contributive life of which their collective efforts have made it possible for me to stand before you here today. And as I stand here, a testament to our shared commitment to the transformative power of education, we are not divided by the borders of the nations that we hail from, but rather we are united as global citizens together in this beautiful moment, in this beautiful space, to celebrate our tremendous achievement here on this wonderful day. Yet, my fellow graduates, while we deserve to celebrate our significant accomplishments with our loved ones on this day, we must keep in mind that we find ourselves here in the calm before the storm. For today not only marks a significant milestone in our lives, but today also marks a significant milestone in the history of humanity. In this year of 2024, when more than half of the world's population across 50 countries will be eligible to participate in elections in what will result in the biggest test of democracy humanity has ever faced. In this year, many things are at stake. Climate change, the risks of artificial intelligence, pandemics, the spread of war with the devastating violence that continues to happen in Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and in Gaza. We must choose the right leaders who have the best interests of our world in mind. Our global cooperation to tackle these issues will be tested in new ways, unlike ever before, and we need urgency in our decisions to combat these crises before it is too late. As these crises continue to rage on, the world's leaders need to choose solidarity and empathy to stand up for other people and our planet before time runs out. With so much on the line, we have no other choice. Now, my dear fellow graduates, is the time for us all to put into practice what we have learned here at Soka University. For we are no longer emerging leaders, we now are leaders of our world. We must put to the test our courage, wisdom, and compassion like never before, because the world we live in depends on it. We must draw from inspiration from the activists who have been commemorated here on our campus, like Rosa Parks, Mahatma Gandhi, Wangara Maathai, who rose to the challenge not because of the way they saw the world for what it was, but for what the world could be. Though it may seem daunting, know that we have nothing to fear because we will not rise alone, but together to face these challenges. And during these challenges, we must keep our values and principles from our university in mind. I'd like to draw inspiration from these words. Sunesaburo Makaguchi, a Japanese educator and Buddhist leader, said, quote, "What is the purpose of life? If one were to express this in just a word, it would have to be happiness. The purpose of education must therefore accord with the purpose of life." My dear fellow graduates, I wish all of you a lifetime of happiness. I wish you happiness that will light up even the darkest of days that lie ahead. I wish you happiness that you will in turn spread throughout the world to make the world a better place. For again, as Makiguchi said, quote, "So long as we live in society, individual happiness is unthinkable without concern for society. In the same way, the flourishing of society is unthinkable if the happiness of the individual is disregarded." Today, the future of our world rests in our hands. It's time for us to stand united and make an impact for ourselves and for everyone sharing our world. We must seize every opportunity that we can to make change. Each of us is an activist, an influencer, capable of spreading joy and being the champions for a better world. Now, don't be afraid. I urge all of you to go out now and make the change that you wish to see in the world. Thank you.
Thank you for your wise words, Emma, for sharing your wise words. Thank you. Now I would like to ask the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Michael Weiner, to present the candidates for the undergraduate degree.
Mr. President, before I present the candidates, it is my great pleasure and honor to recognize the faculty of Soka University of America. Our faculty are mentors and friends. In their teaching, they inspire. And in their scholarship, they set an example of lifelong learning and intellectual inquiry. To our esteemed guests, and especially the class of 2024, I invite you to recognize and thank them all for their special efforts. Would our faculty please stand? To our esteemed guests, it is now my great pleasure and honor to present to you the undergraduate class of 2024. Will the bachelor's degree candidates please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts. On behalf of the faculty, I recommend that they be admitted to this degree.
With the recommendation of the faculty, the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me as President of Soka University of America, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges appertaining thereto.
As a symbol of your graduation, please move your tassels from the right to the left. I now would like to ask the Dean of Faculty, Dr. Robert Hammersley, to call upon the undergraduate class of 2024.
Today we are presenting diplomas to students of the undergraduate class of 2024. Students who will be graduating with honors will be called with one of the following categories of honors: cum laude, 3.5 GPA, magna cum laude, 3.7 GPA, summa cum laude, 3.9 GPA. Now, as I call your name, please come to the stage to receive your diploma. Oluinka Aduloju. Adya Agrawal. Alexander Noah. Nick Anderson. Jay Aranga. Emilia Arechiga. Saki Azuma. Mukesh Bastrola. Nicholas Bello. Lilia Abigail Benavides Medina. Alex Bearstein. Corey Brown. Jared Chavez. Titikan Preem Chin Patanagun. Audrey Chu. Hyun Sa Chu. Olivia Chung. Do Lan Fon. Brooke Farrell. Emmanuel Kwesi Fiagbe. Anjali Ayana Figuera Santos. Caitlin Grundy. Ray Hagihara. Hiromi Hashida. Emily Heller. Ho Che-rin. Moeka Ho. Jackie Chang. Shanice Keza. Ruthie Kihuguru. Taehyung Kim. Mayumi Kurata. Shannon Alicia Kuo. Miranda Lamb. Max Hobong Kirokuni Lau. Jashan Lee. Sean Lee. Brianne Martel. Rioma Mastan. Maki Matsumoto. Yuichi Matsuna. Flor de Cielo Antonieta Maria Mendoza. Robert Wade Merrill. Shelby Myers. Akiko Mihara. Tarlini Misha. Alexis Mojica. Taiji Morgan. Saki Naito. Hiromi Mitaguchi. Krista Nieze. Anastasia Novikova. Momoko Nukui. Sakura Okayasu. Kenta Okazaki. Ephraim Okichuku. Mark Okuda. Diana Marley Oliveira Ibarra. Ayumi Otsuji. Brian Jeffrey Tan Palpalatu. Minju Park. Quang Pham. Camille Pierce. Gael Pierre-Louis. Elisa Pinkham. Trevor Rio Primandaru. Atsushi Saito. Carla Sanchez. Teruaki Sasaki. Sasaki Tsukimaru. Kana Sato. Yuna Sato. Melanie Chili. Teruhiro Shigeno. Kayoko Shimomura. Minami Smallheiser. Abigail Stallworth. Assis Suna. Makoto Ayrton Suzuki. Hugh Jean Tok. Alex Tavares. Tina Wong. Jasmine Williams. Aurora Wind Wolf. Takuto Yoshii. Yumiko Yoshikane. I'd like to offer my apologies for omitting the honors. I believe you can find them in your program. My heartiest congratulations to the undergraduate class of 2024.
Congratulations once again, and please be seated. Thank you. So today's graduating seniors have selected from among their peers 3 students to speak on their behalf. Please welcome first to the stage Hiromi Nitaguchi.
Good afternoon, everyone. I lost my voice, I screamed too much. But it is an honor to be able to welcome families, friends, guests, faculties, and staff to gather today and celebrate with us this pivotal moment of achieving a significant milestone of our life and embarking on a new journey. And dear class of 2024, congratulations. I could not be prouder to be your classmate and be here today with you all. Before I start my speech, I would like to extend my thanks to those behind the scenes for supporting the ceremony today. As a student production assistant here at the Soka Performing Arts Center, I know how dedicated the staff members are to this particular day and all the hardships that they face to run this event. A big thanks to the production team, ushers, and all staff members for making today's celebration happen. Thank you so much. To introduce myself, my name is Hiromi Nitaguchi, and it is my greatest pleasure to be able to stand before you and give a speech about our life here at SUA. Although I use the word our life, our college life was not a uniform collective experience, but I think it was more of an intersection of all our individual journeys. 4 years ago, we gathered together online from different backgrounds and experiences, and today, we will depart from this space to start a new chapter of our life in our own unique way. My personal journey has always been one of looking for a space where I could truly feel included. I was born and raised in Italy in a Japanese immigrant family. As the only Japanese kid in the neighborhood, I always had the sense of foreignness, and I saw myself as a stranger, perhaps more than how people actually perceive me. Later, I decided to study abroad in Japan with the hope of finding a place where I could belong to. However, the powerful peer pressure to assimilate into the Japanese culture did not allow me to protect my identity, and all I could do was to minimize the discomfort others felt due to the cultural differences by branding myself as a clown. Around the time we graduated high school, the pandemic happened, and I returned back to my parents' house in Italy. At the time, I was so used to hiding my origins to the point that I was frustrated by the fact that my name did not match my time zone. However, when the Core 1 class, which is the first class that we take here at SUA, started, I was amazed by the diversity of my class. Everyone was from a different country or a state and had a unique background and personalities, and there was no reason for me to be ashamed of who I was. Thank you so much for my Core 1 classmates. This sense of relief continues throughout the online year and the following 3 years in person. I was surprised that no one here made fun of others' appearances or called out people for taking notes in a different language. The diversity and the respect I received as a human being were something that I had been searching for years. The diversity that I mean here is not simply as counting as the flags behind me or the number of the languages that we speak. Rather, it also includes the diversity in opinions. While I realized my privilege coming from Soka schools in Tokyo, through conversations with my peers, I was also able to find people with whom I share thoughts and hope for improvement in this university regarding the silent judgments and loss of history, to name a few. SUA is not a perfect university, and I learned the importance of recognizing the problems that do exist within us in the first place, to even start thinking about how to reimagine our society. This is my journey, a single story out of 80+ unique stories that happened to intersect for 4 years and then diffuse to the world starting today. What that means to me is that I see my 4 years immersed in this pot of diversity and respect to be an oasis in the middle of my life, where I could restore the pain, relieve for a while, and be ready for the future struggles. My memory of finding a place where I can say I truly belong to will serve as a light of hope in my life and encourage me to never give up on my identity. Therefore, I cannot thank my classmates enough for being my classmates. Thank you so much, everyone. I also understand that this interpretation of our college life is unique to me, and my classmates can have a totally different experience. I know that everyone's life during the pandemic varied. I heard that the workload of life science students is extraordinarily heavy. I cannot imagine all the dedication and sacrifices the student athletes made, and I truly respect the affinity group members who constantly enlighten the whole campus, which difficulty is of a different level. So we all had different stories, but I believe that acknowledging all the different narratives, instead of ignoring them or letting them make us divided, will definitely be the foundation for us to be better global citizens. Finally, I want to thank my parents for making my journey possible at SUA. I would also like to thank the professors whom I had the chance to connect with, especially my capstone mentor, who not only made me a better writer, but also taught me how to be a better person. Thank you so much. I would like to extend my appreciation to the staff members and donors who always supported my college life, either directly or indirectly. I especially want to thank my supervisors at the Performing Arts Center and the marketing department for helping me to find what I truly want to pursue in my life. Lastly, I would like to express my deepest appreciation to our founder, Daisaku Ikeda, for creating this university and allowing me to know the true value of life and encounter my amazing friends of Class of 2024. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hiromi. Now, please welcome Kwang Pham.
Hi, everyone. It is my honor and absolute pleasure to be here with you all at our graduation ceremony. Everyone looks beautiful, especially you, class of 2024. Seeing you so excited for the next chapter of your life brings me back to 4 years ago when our story first started. I knew back then it was the beginning of something great. I just did not expect the story of us to turn out so extraordinary. It has indeed been a very long journey full with twists and turns. For me, at least, as a little boy growing up in Vietnam, speaking no English, watching Disney Channel on my grandparents' crappy TV, dreaming that one day I could visit the Walk of Fame or the Statue of Liberty, pursuing higher education in the US was a dream too good to come true. Then 2 years ago, at the very end of my sophomore year, I decided to switch my concentration to pursue life sciences. My parents were horrified. I mean, it was too late. I was halfway through college. We know no one in science, and growing up, frankly, I never saw a scientist that looks like me. I was doomed for failure, you can say. Yet, with the unconditional love and support of my family, friends, and mentors at Soka, I am so proud to tell you that I will soon begin my PhD in evolutionary biology at Cornell University. Thank you. Well, success, regardless of how you define it, is never an individual effort. Every milestone in my life so far would not have been made possible without the incredible people in my life, many of whom I'm so privileged to have here during my time at Soka. They have carried me through so many tough times and taught me so many lessons. One of the most important ones is the lesson about kindness. In today's brutally competitive world, we are trained to always compete with each other. We're constructed to believe that our success always comes at the expense of others, that someone's loss could be our gains. Or to be honest with you, this used to be my mentality, trying to survive the cutthroat educational environment in Vietnam where every student had to fight for a piece of opportunity. But my community here at Soka has shown me that I was indeed very wrong. I have met and befriended so many incredible people who believe in me, love me for I am, support me, but expect nothing in return. They show me that kindness is not a weakness, but a strength. They make me realize that I'm more than any shiny achievements or awards. And kindness costs nothing, but means everything. The second lesson that I'm so grateful to have learned is the science of letting go. Through my past year Soka, I have had many heartbreaks, whether they were bad grades, job rejections, or failed relationships. And because I'm naturally a stubborn tryhard, I always try to work things out, even when they already crumble or fell apart. I tried so hard to change people's minds to a point that I lost myself in the process. And after all this painful experience, I realized that the only person who needed to change their mind was myself, that I should have believed more in the beautiful things that I could offer. And as long as I have a good heart and endless love to give, that is the only validation that I will ever need. Um, every rejection is a redirection, right? And then if something don't work out after you put up a ferocious battle for them, it just means that there are bigger and better things out there waiting for us. So dream big, fight hard, take risks, but also learn to let go when things are not right for you or no longer benefit you. For me, at least, once I finally did it, I was amazed at how incredibly far I could go. Now, the final lessons, also the most important one personally that I have learned, is that there's only one right way to live life, and that is to be yourself. Soka's founder, Daisaku Eda, once said, "Our faith, whatever form it takes, provides us with an opportunity to bring forth our true inner light. Every day we wake up, we have another opportunity to be ourselves and be a positive life for others." It is definitely easier said than done, because there will be people out there who tell you that you're not enough or that you're too much. But we are who we are, and that is what makes us special. That is the spark that we cannot let anyone else take away. So wear pink, be passionate, be loud, be excited. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to love, and be loved back. Standing here, I want to thank everyone that has made this moment possible for all of us. To all the faculty, you are the heroes that change lives. To the family and friends who have come from far and wide, you guys are the reasons why we have come so far. To the staff, administrations, and donors, thank you so much for your dedication and time that have made Soka a true home for all of us. To the class of 2024, the past 4 years have been a whirlwind of emotions. Times have been tough, but I believe there were moments when you were living your best life. There's a saying from my favorite musical of all time, Wicked, which I had the honor of seeing on Broadway 2 years ago. Everyone deserves a chance to fly. Now, so much time has passed since I first saw Wicked. So many things have changed within me. And I bet it must have been the same for all of us since we embarked on this journey 4 years ago. We're not the same people we were when we first came to Soka, and nothing will be the same after today. But I hope that you would take this new change in your life as an opportunity to fly away, and do good. Remember, no clouds can stop the brightest suns from shining through. This is not just a happy ending, it is the beginning of something bigger and better. Class of 2024, trust me when I say I've had the best time of my life defying gravity with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwang. Lastly, also representing the class of 2024, please welcome Flor del Cielo Mejia.
Esteemed guests, family, and friends, today marks a significant milestone in our lives, one that we will remember and cherish for years to come. My heartfelt gratitude to you, our wonderful guests, for making the enormous effort to come and celebrate this achievement with us. We have family and friends who have traveled from miles away, from different parts of the world, all gathered here to celebrate. My name is Flor del Cielo Mejia Mendoza, and I am an international student from Honduras, Central America. It is my greatest honor to be here today, and I am humbled to share this accomplishment with you in such a wonderful ceremony. Dear classmates, my deepest appreciation and profound respect goes to all of you. These past months have been unforgettable as we all came together to celebrate our time at Soka. Seeing the beautiful performances, spending time with our wonderful underclassmen, and sharing countless smiles are testaments of how much we have enjoyed our time here. As a friend and as a classmate, I would like to commend each and every one of you for the achievement of completing your undergraduate and graduate degree. Thank you for giving me an unforgettable college experience and for the time we shared together. You are leaders for the creative coexistence of nature and humanity. To my friends, I love you wholeheartedly. Muchas gracias for being my rock for these past 4 years. As we all know, we started off our first year of college online, differently than we would have ever expected. Many of us had an idea of what our first year would look like, but unfortunately, that was not the case. As for many in this room today, 2020 was the year where some of us lost loved family members and valuable assets, including the hard work from so many years. In my case, my family and I were hit by a devastating hurricane back in 2020 while I was in my first semester at Soka. Back then, we suffered a great loss. We were displaced from our home in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, feeling hopeless. However, it was thanks to all those caring words of encouragement and support from family and Soka friends whom I hadn't even met yet in person that we found so much strength. And with an immovable determination, we moved forward. Similarly, I know that such courage is present in all of us here today, class of 2024. During our first year, we were joining online school from various time zones, learning and adapting to a new education system all by ourselves. Although challenged by daunting obstacles, I can say with confidence that we put in great efforts to make it a great first year. We were pushing forward and creating sweet opportunities to form deep bonds. And we were doing all of this from opposite sides of the world. It was then such a sweet moment when we got to see each other for the first time in person, getting to see our faces and appreciating our time together after such a long wait. May the courage and compassion you exude enlighten all those around you, class of 2024. Coming to the US was the first time I left my country and my family. I had never been exposed to different cultures or languages. However, upon arriving at the Soka campus, I discovered a unique richness, immersing myself to the beauty of many cultures and languages in a world-class education. This environment not only expanded my understanding of the world, but also fostered a deep appreciation for the diversity that characterizes the Soka community. Even though faced with ample challenges, this journey has been so meaningful thanks to the people working at SUA who have made our life here so memorable. Thus, I would like to extend my greatest appreciation to all departments of Soka University of America, our facilities team, Soka Bistro team, Mail Center, IT, and all the other wonderful departments that I cannot mention due to time. Thank you for making our time at SUA so memorable. To our founder, Sensei Daisaku Ikeda, and our beloved donors, thank you for opening your doors to us. We wouldn't be celebrating this achievement without your continuous support, trust, and love for Soka students. To our esteemed faculty and mentors, your dedication to our growth has been invaluable. You have gone above and beyond to offer the most thoughtful courses, and for that, we're deeply grateful. Thank you so much. I am honored to share that I am the first Honduran student ever to attend Soka, and and I will forever appreciate Soka for letting me be a part of this wonderful family. I'll consider this campus as my first home away from home. Soka has opened its doors to my beloved country, and I take the honor and responsibility of sharing about this institution with my community. To my country, Honduras, te llevo en el corazón, que viva la tierra que me vio crecer. Our sincerest appreciation goes to our parents and support systems, whose unwavering support and sacrifices have been the foundation of our success. Congratulations to you too, families. To my wonderful familia, muchísimas gracias. Los amo con todo mi corazón a cada uno de ustedes. Todo lo que hago es para honrarlos y hacer valer su grandísimo esfuerzo. Gracias por hacerme la persona que soy ahora. Gracias a Dios por ponerlos como mis padres y darme el amor más grande que he visto. Son y serán mi inspiración más grande para nunca rendirme. I love you with my whole heart. Everything I do is to honor you, and you're my greatest support system. Thank you. As we celebrate this milestone, may we also remember that outside these doors, many are suffering. Let us honor their lives and keep them in our prayers. And let us also be conscious of how we treat our planet Earth, which is our home. Murakose, dannevad, arigato, shie, obrigada, gracias. Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much for your moving speeches, and congratulations again to all the graduates. It is now my great pleasure to present the Founders Award. This year's Founders Award recipient is Yuichi Matsuna. Yuichi, please come forward. Soka University of America Founders Award, Yuichi Matsuna. In accordance with the founding principles of Soka University of America, given by founder Daisaku Ikeda, your diligent efforts in pursuit of academic excellence, commitment to integrity, and service to the university community have demonstrated the ideals of this institution. In recognition of your outstanding contributions, and with the expectation that your continued growth and development will foster immeasurable value, you are hereby presented with the Founders Award on this 24th day of May 2024, Edward M. Fiesel, President. I'd like to ask Yuichi to share a few words.
Hello, thank you so much, everyone. I didn't expect that also. Thank you so much. Yes, I want to really thank my parents who support me, and then my family who support me, and then also like everyone, and then like Castle 2024, and then my their friends and then guests. Also, I would like to appreciate everyone, SEA faculty staff, and then also like chorus, like orchestra, and then like all the members who support. And I'm so grateful that they really to the founder Daisaku Ikeda, who really continue inspiring me over my life. And I know in 10 years we are going to meet again at SUA. So I'm so let's all really strive and then come back to SUA with a smile. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Shuichi. Well deserved. As we conclude our ceremony, the student chorus and orchestra will now perform for us The Light of Hope, a song that was presented to the students by our late founder, Mr. Ikeda. After the performance, we will begin the recessional. So for your safety, please remain seated until the music stops and the platform party and the class of 2024 have exited the stage. Directly following the recessional, please join us for a reception outside this Performing Arts Center. Now, please welcome back the SUA Student Chorus and Orchestra.
Courageously I stand, determined to fulfill the gospel mission. For thou wast the Son of Kingdom of the King, and the campus is blazing gold. O light of hope, arise from here, keep shining on beyond the thousand years. On every path and every stone resides the founding Spirit. This Spirit is my own. For the sake of the people, I will study and learn fearlessly and without cease, and for the world create a new future of happiness for humankind. It is my earnest vow to plant the seed here running the soul of my youthful dreams. A determined youth emerges from the earth. The beating pulse of life grows stronger as we gather. Global citizens uniting here as well. And triumphant the day begins. The light of hope will now is out. Youth compassion burning in our hearts. Education surpasses the choice and passion. Much stresses we'll go into society and do the best we can to shatter the dark of night, to live alive. Engage in new construction, our hearts forever bound as one. Today we will allow preachings of dialogue, so justice may be done. Underneath the shining canopy of stars, we ponder the words as we pursue the ages. My young friends, I entrust my dreams to you. I am counting on you to spread the light of hope throughout the world, to be the change that finally occurs. The gleaming banner of humanity, the flag of freedom, for all the world to see. Be philosophers who bring about the renaissance of life. Open the way for peace, peace will never. Raise the sword, if our courageous heart will heed the call. I know for and dedicate to you the pride of one indomitable land. Committed to the achievement of one's youthful vow. I offer and dedicate to you the light of hope that rises above all.
And congratulations to the class of 2024. Thank you once again for your attendance today. For your safety, please remain seated until the music stops and the platform party and the class of 2024 have exited the stage. We will now begin the recessional.